All right, folks, we are back now. What we're going to do is finish putting this on here. I've got this lined up. I got the holes outside of these right here because you don't want to drill through those. Also, the other reason I don't put screws in here is because I don't want them sticking through this. Any protrusion through there could get caught on my bag or anything else that I put in this crate, and I just don't want that to happen. So that's why I use zip ties for this. Also, you want to make sure, again, that you get this up high enough so that your rods don't bottom out. In my other kayak crate, I had them spaced a little bit lower because I didn't want to drill through that. But my rods always bottom out, so they kind of stuck up at the top. That particular rod holder didn't have these slots in here, so it didn't really make much difference to me. On this one, I wanted to actually sit flush and be seated in there correctly. So what I'm gonna do now is get a pin. I'm gonna mark these holes so that I can drill through there. So I'll be right back with you guys. All right, good people. Got the pin that we're gonna use here. And I'm gonna go ahead and mark these holes off. And we can go ahead and get to drilling this. Make sure this is level a little bit so I put these holes in the right spot. And that ain't gonna work. All right, so obviously this pin does not reach through there, so what I'm gonna do is do this. And do that. And so I want the hole to be right there. And need the other one to be right there, so about right there. Yeah, you gotta get this as close as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to be able to get these in here correctly without putting a whole bunch of holes in your crate. So now we're gonna take the drill. We're gonna drill through this. All right. Put these holes in here. Let's do it. Okay, numero uno. That's the second one. Okay. Hopefully these line up well. So let's see. Okay. We can see through it. We got daylight. I think we're good. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want it to be close. Again, since I'm using zip ties, it's gonna kind of correct itself anyway. So I've got these zip ties, 8-inch cable ties. I need 4 of these. So what you're gonna do is, I like to start in the back because I want this part to be in the back. So slide this through here. These are gonna be a tight fit, I see. It's okay. Put that through there. And the good thing about these zip ties is you can tear these off pretty easily. So put number 2 in here. Actually, change my mind. I want this to be on the other side. No, I don't. I'm gonna change my mind. I don't. I'll put it right here. So I guess that's really not much difference than a screw hanging out. So I'm gonna put this right at the top here. Bottom portion here. So with these, because there's no really straight line to be had, I'm going to put these up a little bit more. And I want this back here a little more. Yeah, I want that about right there. here. So this so you can see what I'm doing here. All right, here we go. All right, so, and kind of make sure this stays up too. Use the handy dandy pliers to pull this tighter here in a moment. Put this last zip tie through here. Again, making sure that this kind of stays level and stays in the position you want it, because these are zip ties that kind of fish around until you get everything tightened all the way. I would suggest that you wait to tighten everything so that you don't have to cut these off if things are off just a little bit. Let's see this last hole here, exactly where it's located. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just kind of feeling for the where the screw should go through. And I'm gonna snatch this tight. All right, so this is pretty much done. Like, it's pretty simple. Another reason that I use the zip ties is because it is pretty simple. Trying to get the last little bit out of there. So this is something I do to try to get these as tight as I possibly can. Might be as tight as that's gonna get. Another great thing about having these is you can put your paddles in here when you take them apart, like so, when you're getting off the water. So this has always been very handy for me. I don't know if you guys get to see it in my videos, probably not most times, but when I get off the water, this is what I do with my rods, with my paddles. I take them apart, I put one in each. I put my seat in there from the other kayak, and I put my life vest and my net in there. And I got something that I can carry everything in one basket. At that point, there's really not much left in the boat, so the only thing I have to take out is the rod. So this makes it easier for me. This one, I'll probably be able to do the same thing. Won't be dropping the rods to the ground because this is a fiberglass and carbon rod. But again, guys, this is pretty much done here. I'm gonna go ahead and clip these tag ends off, tighten this up a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good though. You wanna make sure it don't move around, and that's pretty sturdy, So you guys can see, this is the finished product, basically, right here. Let's go ahead and cut these tag ends off with our handy dandy pliers. With the handy dandy pliers here, these will do it. I'm gonna get the scissors for that. Be right back, guys. All right, folks, I am back. I've got the scissors here. Get this all trimmed up nice. Looking real good. All right. So, folks, this is our finished yak crate right here. Let's get a couple rods and see how they sit in there. Wha-bam. And that doesn't fit because that's too wide, so it doesn't matter anyway. That one fits in there great. Bait caster, not so much. Bait casters a lot of times have these problems just because of the way they're made, but it fits in there, so I'm gonna make a big deal out about that. The other one should fit in here just fine as well. Guys, make a bait caster rod holder too. We love the bait cast. All right, folks, so as I was saying before the battery died, this is good for me. I'm probably gonna end up keeping my bait caster in the actual rod holder in the boat now, since I have those, which is a blessing, absolutely. So this is good for me. Again, I thought this was important to have just to put my rods in it if I want to. I like to have that option to put the third rod somewhere if you don't feel like holding it at the front of the boat, which sometimes, you know, you may not like that. All about personal preference there. But now I got myself a brand new yak crate. Let's also go ahead and test the fit in the kayak. See how it's gonna actually stay in there. So, I want this to sit forward this way. It's hard for it to sit with the rods that way because of this part right here. And I'll show you what I mean. So this ends up sitting on top most times and it kind of swirls around. That's actually not that bad though, so we may be able to ride like that. Okay, that's better than I thought. So, hey, let me tell the truth. So we may actually be riding like this. Let's see if we can get this over the top of this. Help to secure everything. We won't. So yeah, I'm gonna figure out the way to get this in. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some paracord on here and put some carabiners in here as well. Just gonna attach a piece of paracord here on each side and a carabiner so I can actually attach this into the boat. So, all right, folks, so I figured I might as well show you how to do this instead of just telling you. So what I do is I take some paracord, just got some regular black paracord here, got from the hardware store. And what I'm gonna do is probably take about that much. What you wanna do is kind of measure, say, from this part of the kayak, and I would say from like here to there. You can have some slack in it, so that's about long enough right there. I'm gonna give it a little bit more because I got a tie loop in here. Just a little bit more. I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna double this over twice. So I got one, now I got two. So this gives me my two loops. This gives me my two pieces, which are right here and right here. You guys see what I've done? So just took that. That's just to make sure that these are equal length. All right, so now I'm just gonna take this, and again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna cut this right about there. And let me get a lighter. I'm gonna cut this in half first. I'm gonna cut this in half. So now I got my two pieces of paracord. Should be pretty close to equal length, but they are not. Knew that might happen. Oh well, don't care. Let me get a lighter here. We're gonna burn these in. Folks, we are back. We're gonna have to use a regular lighter for this application. We'll have to do it inside as well. Wind is blowing a little hard, so again, I just don't like breathing in plastic fumes, so I'm gonna do this right here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna tie this off like this. take the two ends together. Make sure I got a good nut. And you want to get this as close to the top of your tag ends as possible. About that slack. And get that knot good and tight. Do this one. Folks, also make sure that this plastic has cooled off before you start messing with this. This will burn you. Be careful. Alright, so I'm just getting these tied together. Again, make sure you pull out that slack. You want this to be as close to the top of your tag end without actually being too far. Get that real good and tight. And I promise you these knots are not gonna come out. You're not gonna climb in with these, so not that big a deal. So what I'm gonna do is simply loop this through here. And put this a little further back. Put it right here. It's up to you where you want to put it to. I'm just kind of fiddling around, fooling around with it, trying to decide. This is all I do with it. Put that through there, that right there. This goes on here, like so, and clips in like that. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Here. And last carabiner on here. And it's up to you where you want to clip it. You can do it there. You can do it here. It really don't matter. Just as long as you got something to hold the kayak in there, other than this right here. Most likely when I'm riding, I'll probably put this bungee over the top of that just to hold it down so it's not lifting up like that. So let me show you what I mean by that. So what I would do is, you have to make sure you stay down too, because they have a tendency to want to move like that. So what you have to do is double up. There we go. So you can get these both on here like this. Should hold it down a little bit more steady and help it from not wiggle around. So it's pretty decent right there. It's probably gonna do stuff like that, but I may move this and flip it around that way just so the downward pressure is holding it back that way instead of try to hold it forward, because I'm gonna be pulling the poles out. You don't want to be doing that. It's pretty noisy. So I'm gonna mess with this get it mocked up, and see exactly how I want to sit when I'm riding in the kayak. But again, folks, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate you guys subscribing. Ooh, that camera lens is a little clean that up there. Make sure you can see me clearly. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you watching these videos. I greatly appreciate that. I hope that this was helpful to you. You got some good information about it. It's as simple as that to make your own kayak crate. I want to say I spent about $22 on the actual pole holders, the rod holders themselves. One thing else I paid for was those zip ties, as well as I bought the carabiners. I've had those for a while. Bought those in a big pack of like, I don't know, 30, 40 carabiners. So I got a few more on hand, so I really didn't have to pay for those again. But you know, I'd say probably about $30, maybe less, depending on what kayak, depending on what rod holder you purchase, because there are cheaper ones out there. This could cost you less. So I think this is a better solution versus spending $35, $40, probably about $50, $60 now for a Kayak crate, then having to go and buy the rod holders. That really just doesn't make sense to me. I don't need to pay $70 just to put my tackle and stuff in there and hold my rods, all right? It's a very easy solution. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hit that like button if you liked the video. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to see some more videos like this. I like doing them, and I appreciate you guys watching again. I'll see you on the next one. All right, peace. So again, this is my Kayak crate. I think this will actually do good on this side. Dropping the rods. Let's see how this works right here. It works. I mean, it's sitting in there secure. I just need something to secure this to the back, which will be the carabiners. I'll be putting on those in a little bit. I go find them. But I think you guys get the general idea of how to make this Kayak crate. Hope that was simple. If you guys happen to have any questions, please feel free to shoot me a comment and let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer those questions. But appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you liked it, hit the thumbs down if you didn't. And again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.